Hey, welcome to this week's reading of the newsletter. This is Aten Ray, episode 61, The Turducken Theory of Human Identity. Aligning with your true identity after the breakdown of society. Have you ever spent a good amount of time with a house cat that has lived its entire life indoors? It seems happy enough, cruising around the house, scratching, eating its wet food, and sleeping by the fan. But every once in a while, it catches a glance of a bird outside, stirring a deep subconscious memory, an instinct of its ancient wild history that it feels but struggles to identify. It only knows what it knows, mistaking its artificial environment for its true nature. Yet something persists in feeling off. A turducken is a rather odd holiday feast comprising of a deboned chicken stuffed inside a deboned duck, which is then inserted into a turkey. If you did not watch it being prepared, you might think it's only a turkey. But once you go deeper, its true, rather bizarre nature is revealed. Much like a house cat's artificial environment that it remains unaware of, we frequently mistake surface reality for actual reality. I playfully call this the Turducken theory of human identity, because we tend to think that what we currently know is all there is. The archive explains human origins as vastly more complex than what we currently observe. Because of this, our everyday perceptions and decisions tend to fall out of sync with our deeper nature, leaving us in a confused state where reality feels like there's always something not quite right. The Turducken theory is multilayered. It serves as a symbolic reminder of the hidden layers beneath the surface, while directly revealing the pathway back to inner wholeness. Layer 1. The Turkey of Surface Reality. This is the physical conscious layer we all know and navigate. We measure things with science, document empirical consistencies as truth, and follow prescribed routines as some semblance of a life. We conveniently ignore or vilify the elements we cannot measure, calculate, or remember. Big government dictates what is real or acceptable, while institutional healthcare patches us up when our artificial lifestyle predictably fails our physical bodies. When we fail to fulfill societal expectations, we are ostracized, labeled, and filed accordingly. Layer 2. The Forgotten Duck, just under the surface. This is the first unseen layer just below the surface that people struggle to make sense of, so it largely goes ignored. What is fascinating is that it constantly lingers in our peripheral awareness. It surfaces in our dreams, in reactive behaviors we struggle to control, and in strange flashes that feel like ancient memories. Because we cannot contextualize these moments within the narrow view of a single animal existence, we quickly dismiss them. The archive tells us that directly beneath the symbolic turkey of surface reality lies our soul memory, stored deep within the subconscious. It holds experiences we carry yet struggle to bring into conscious focus, much like a fading dream realm where vivid details diffuse upon waking. This layer preserves memory from across past lifetimes and future potentials. The physical body itself acts as a living archive of these records, holding karma in our muscular structure, organ tissues, and cellular DNA. The sleeping prophet Edgar Cayce noted that life consists of both a day and night side. Modern human consciousness stays heavily fixated on the day side. Society holds a strange view that visible, measurable phenomena constitute the total scope of reality. Dominant logical thinking rules the day because whatever we can measure, we feel like that we can control. That gives us a false sense of power, leaving us intellectually celebrated while intuitively inept. This focus leaves us completely blind to the dark, wild feminine side of existence. the realm that informs, incubates, empowers, transforms, and renews. True magic emerges through the balance of both light and dark side forces. The dark side represents our personal intuition and inner knowing, independent of dominant logical thinking. The real key lies in thinking while knowing, considering while honoring the deep reservoir of inner wisdom broadcast to us at every moment. In the sacred Trinity, this represents the Holy Spirit, the motherly bridge connecting the omnipresent Father to the individual son or daughter's soul. We receive gut feelings and physical knowing that transcend everyday logic. We must resurrect this inner knowing. Layer 3 of the Turducken, the sacred inner chicken, the deepest layer. This is the deepest layer, our primary soul memory. This disturbing past feels inconvenient, revealing precisely how far we have wandered from our origins. The archive makes this foundational layer crystal clear. Souls were originally non-physical, light-form caretakers, created as etheric gardeners to help diversify flora, fauna, and consciousness throughout the universe. We moved into direct alignment with Source's guidance, co-creating in joyful celebration of this miraculous universe. Over vast epochs, curiosity turned inward. Souls grew enamored with physical form, desiring to directly experience the material realms and biological creations they helped design. As channeled sources describe, souls fell into physical density like a sculpture falling into its own clay. During this chaotic childhood of the soul, early entities projected their creative will directly into dense matter, experimenting with semi-biological protoplasms. This produced the mythic chimeras, dragons, giants, and prehistoric beasts. Rather than operating through random biological selection alone, soul consciousness became the direct evolutionary force, stepping up primitive primates into vessels for full incarnation. We entangled our immortal light with biological matter. This is the forbidden secret of humanity. Echoes of that ancient era drive our current world. We continue meddling with nature and manipulating our fellow human beings, completely ignorant of the vast spiritual lineage beneath the surface. Most disturbingly, we frequently see the truth and simply choose to ignore it. They say that the truth will set you free. Freedom begins when we stop telling ourselves comforting stories and confront the dark reality of what human ego has built. Man himself has misappropriated what God graciously bestowed upon us, creating the false feeling that we're abandoned. Resources are hoarded without loving consideration for the whole. We fight like desperate animals, clawing each other's eyes out for petty dominance. External forces will not step in to save us from our own creations. This ordeal remains ours to resolve through expanded consciousness and rigorous self-awareness. Waking up demands surrendering the ego's obsession with endless accumulation, status, and stepping on the less fortunate. It requires tapping into the authentic divine spark inside of us to rise up and transform our reality. So what is the Turducken really? It's symbolic, it's supposed to be humorous, but it's a layered reality that if you're not aware of what's below the surface, it's really hard to make decisions in the conscious reality that we're in that are effective or helpful. But it's the call to be whole. It's the maturing of our emotional and spiritual development. It is the deep recognition that the exact same divine soul consciousness residing inside of you exists within every person you might otherwise judge or label. It means stepping outside of your own ego so you can actively participate in a much greater divine tapestry. It is simply telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, while taking responsibility for what you create. Now is the time. The old artificial systems are crumbling around us. What side of history will you choose? So that's this week's reading of the Aten newsletter. I do consultations for all sorts of stuff, but if you are into sovereign soul living, getting back in touch with your soul, kind of rearranging your thinking, getting more tuned into what it's going to take to transform the society that we're in, and steps we can actually take today, give me a call. I do readings, I do identity work, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, thanks again. You can reach me at 1@atenray.com, 1@atenray.com, and I'll see you next week.